Hi fellow traders, I'm making this video to share my GBP USD analysis with you. In my previous few videos, I talked about this three drive development from A, and it was developing like A, B, C, D, E, F, capital A, B, C, D, E, F. And we had taken buy positions and we had successfully made profit. But we did not take any sell position, neither did we publish any analysis about taking sell position even after completion of three drive. And I'll tell you the reason why we did not mention any uh, selling opportunity. Number one is lack of lack of bearish bias. When there is a bearish bias in the market, and when there are traders who are willing to just find selling opportunity, you will see that price will keep getting selling pressures again and again, and the development of the drives will be slower. So if CD, the second drive, was just 127.2% of BC, EF should also have been just 127.2% of its previous retracement D. So it should have been completed at this 127.2% of D, which was 2960 area. And if it was completed here, this butterfly would be, sorry, this three drive would be uh, mathematically harmonic. But this is not mathematically harmonic. EF is faster and bigger than previous development, as it is not just 127.2%, it is 161.8% of the price completed here at this point, and then it retraced a little to the downside. And even while price retraced to the downside, we did not take any sell position. We did not suggest it. We were rather looking for sell position right from here, which which market did not give an opportunity of. So this is the one way to understand. If CD was also 161.8% of its previous retracement BC, then EF completion of EF at 161.8% of its previous retracement D could be acceptable to be harmonic three drive development. But here there is no mathematical harmony. So this is about mathematical harmony and understanding whether or not price is getting exhausted. Basically, the mechanism behind any reversal pattern is to understand whether or not price is gradually getting exhausted. So this is the one way to understand by mathematical harmony or by the speed of the rise. For example, here EF development is quite faster and bigger than the CD. Second thing which you have to look at is the correlation with oscillator. If there is a divergence, then there is effectiveness. The three drive is really efficacious if there is a bearish divergence. For example, if price is making higher highs and the oscillator is making lower highs, then it could be effective. But oscillator here is also making higher highs, so there is no bearish divergence, and that's why we cannot say that the price is getting exhausted. If price was getting exhausted, there would be bearish divergence. I'll show you an example of this. If you look at this price development, this also looks like a three drive. For example, this is first drive, and then this is second drive. Second drive is relatively smaller, and third drive is also smaller. So even as per the length, they are smaller, so you can clearly understand that the price is gradually getting exhausted. And also, if you look at the correlation between the price development and oscillator, you'll find the price is making higher high, whereas price was making higher highs, whereas oscillator was making lower highs. For example, high, lower high, and then lower high. So there was no such kind of condition here. So there was no good opportunity to take a sell position from this point F, or you can say point small d. Then we have this new development. If you look at the inside of EF developed like a butterfly, where we can consider capital D and small a, b, c, d as a butterfly, and it's looking mathematically perfect. It's a, b, c, d 161.8% extension, and it is coinciding with the 161.8% of D. So it is a very good butterfly, but there was very small reaction, and today price clearly closed above this previous point small d or point capital F, and now this butterfly has been invalidated. So it was a good idea not to take sell position. I always look at the bigger picture, so I did not just look at the butterfly, I looked at the entire development, and when I did not get convinced because of the lack of bearish divergence, I did not take sell position from here. Rather, I had tried to find sell opportunity around this area, the initial and the harmony completion point that was 127.2% of D, and their sell trade was not successful. So now what we have today, we have further bullish context on the GBP USD, and we'll have to look at how we can buy. If we look at the fundamental things, if you compare the total confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the UK versus the total population of the UK, you'll find that the only 0.48% of the population has been infected so far in the UK. And if you look at the total population of the US and the total confirmed COVID-19 cases in the US so far, then you'll find that the 1.67% of the population has been infected by COVID-19 so far. So even I'm not talking about the number of people infected, I'm talking about the percent of population which is infected. So in this scenario, the percent of people infected in the US is kind of more than three times, roughly 4 times than the percent of people infected in the UK. So this is a bad sign for the US economy. In a very simple way, you can simply understand that the more number of people are infected, the more expenses will be required on the health services. So there is nothing much to do with how what is the recovery rate and how much people are dying. The initial and the very first thing is to understand the expenses of a country on the health services, because people are getting infected. So that's why if you look at the pound started falling. This was just the panic selling of initial 10 days, and then by the 26 days price was recovered more than 70% of the fall, and it had come back to this area. So this was the panic fall and then speedy rise. We cannot say that this price actually reflect the economic condition, but the gradual development of last 5 months is showing that the economic condition of the UK is gradually in a better shape compared to the economic condition of the US in context with the impact of COVID-19. Before this point, GBP USD was already in uptrend, and that was caused and embarked by positive development in Brexit. So price was in uptrend till here. Then there was a retracement from this to this point, and then price had started going up, and that was a very nice rise. And then the fall happened just because of COVID-19. But today you can clearly see that the pound has recovered the total fall, and it has come above the point from where it has fallen. And this is a clear breakout. You can see that the price, after completing this butterfly as well as so-called look-alike 3 drive, it has fallen down and it was going sideways. There was still a hope until closing of the today's price that the price may further fall, and there can be some significant retracement, at least because of this butterfly, because there is nothing conflicting in the butterfly like 3 drive, because 3 drive doesn't have bearish divergence to accompany with, but butterfly doesn't require such kind of thing. In most of the cases, you'll find that the 3 drive is accompanied by bearish divergence, and then it is supposed to be really effective. But butterfly doesn't require any such company by 3 drive, any bearish divergence or anything like that. So there was still a hope that this butterfly at least can work, and we can get kind of 30% retracement of this move from E to F. But it also did not take place, and entire bearish context has been removed after this today's close well above the point F. So what do we have now? I will not be surprised if price will continue rising and it will go back to this 1.35 area. Previous high was 35.146. So I'll take the round number. So price may keep rising, and in few days or a week it can reach around 1.35. So if we are looking for taking buy position, today's this is the new day. Wednesday already started as per daily closing time of brokers, because daily candle closes at 5 p.m. This is 7 p.m. now. So if you want to take position right now, you can take, or if you want to wait for retracement, you can wait for a slight downward retracement and you can enter buy. We don't know how much retracement will take place after such kind of small consolidation and then breakout to the upside, because this consolidation shows us that there was no significant bearish pressure. So we can take position right now, and we can target 1.35, or you can keep your TP kind of 10 pips below 1.35 just to avoid missing the TP, because different brokers have different prices. And if we talk about exiting the position in loss, we can take this candle into account for determining the SL, because this is the candle that caused breakout. So if price starts falling from here, and if another daily candle closes below the low of this candle, then this breakout will be considered as a false breakout, and we should exit the buy position. So obviously our exit point in case of loss will be below this low of yesterday's candle of August 18, and our TP will be something around 1.35. So let's measure what is our risk reward ratio from here. If you want to take position right now, I have just entered my position around 32.45, and right now price is still there. So if you're watching the video, you can also take position, or if you don't want to take position now, you can wait for a little retracement, but I'm not sure about how much retracement will take place, and we already have a good risk to reward ratio, so we can enter buy right now. So let's compare the total pips on the risk. Here roughly we have 150 pips on the risk, and if we are gonna close our position around 34.90, 10 pips below the round number 1.35, we have 249, roughly 250 pips on the reward side. So it is a 250 pips reward and 150 pips risk. So trade is still feasible, and remember the invalidation point. When price comes back below this low of yesterday's candle, exit the buy position in the loss and rather enter the sell, because this will be a false breakout, and then what will work? Then this butterfly will work, and we will then calculate the 30% of move from this E, and then there will be new F around here. So that's all about this GBP USD, and thank you for watching.